My wife and friends, they dropped the ball on me. No one remembered that had I won, not even my wife. I got laughter and a pity clap. Then wife offered petty sex to make it up to me like I should just get over it. I completely understand there are much greater tragedies out there than what I'm about to describe. Need to write this out and appreciate any feedback or strategies. Myself, my wife, and friends from college, including best friend and his wife, have been doing a college football pick'em league for the last 12 years. It's for fun, but I'd say most everyone takes it somewhat seriously. Since we have had the league, different people won, but for 6 years in a row one particular guy kept winning. Each year, we have a big tailgate party at a game where the winner of the previous year is honored with a speech and trophy. Last year, we even arranged for a surprise cameo to be played at the tailgate for the guy who won his 6th in a row. I broke his streak last year and won the league. But I was also the person who typically got the trophy and arranged the cameo or some of the other cool things we've done. So yesterday was our big tailgate, and it was my chance at being recognized as the person who won the previous year. A few hours in, my wife had a few drinks in and said, "I don't even know what we're doing this year for the person who won 6 years in a row." Then I said that actually I had won, and her whole face changed. Our friend standing next to her turned white as a ghost. First, they laughed and then said, "No, wait, it was you." I realized that until that moment, it hadn't occurred to them, or anyone, to do anything. There was no trophy or speech or anything. My best friend quickly gets told by my wife that they forgot to do something and says nothing. Can't make eye contact. Gets worse for me. After it sets in, I'm in the bathroom an hour later. I walk out, and some people start clapping because my wife had awkwardly arranged for the crowd at the party to do something. It's worse because the guy who won 6 years in a row and had been a recipient of some cool stuff is laughing hysterically that everyone forgot to do anything. I'm just sad. I don't really want to talk to my wife. She gave me a very short apology this morning and offered sex to cheer me up and made it worse. Drove 6 hours home crying here, and they're wondering how a group of people I love and care about would drop the ball. Sent a text out to some saying how shitty it was to be forgotten. It sucks. I'm sure tomorrow I'll be less sad. Best comments. You're the planner. You're the one that keeps people together and makes sure no one or thing is forgotten. So, when you don't do all the work, no one else does. It's really crappy they forgot to celebrate your win. You deserved a hurrah, and they let you down. Really sorry. They did drop the ball and then handled it really inappropriately. Sincere apologies were needed ASAP. And then making it up to you, I'd truly join another league just to take your mind off it and detach a little from that scene. Even if they don't do celebrations and you're the planner of the group, that still isn't cool. I hate football, but this got me worked up. Everyone likes to accept rewards and praise, but not everyone liked to return the favor. OP went out of their way to make sure whoever won had a good time and felt special for 6 years and got nothing in return when it was his time to shine. And to top it off, his wife is trying to downplay it and act like he's overreacting. Feels bad. Least they could do is apologize, especially the guy who laughed after, since it was Opie the one who made his win special in the first place. Next time your wife is upset, offer her sex to cheer her up. One of the first serious talks I had with my then girlfriend, now wife, was about her not using sex to try to immediately fix for something she might do wrong in the future. I had an ex who attempted to do that, and it's the worst attitude anyone can have to try to fix something. This isn't stupid at all. You're validated in feeling how you do, and it's shitty as F that your friends and wife didn't recognize how important this was to you. I totally get it. It isn't about fantasy football. It's the pretense of the entire situation. You deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate you the same way you do for them. This isn't something to accept. It's important that you say something. I know it's uncomfy, but it's worth it. Thank you much, really. I teared up that anyone felt sympathetic. I'm in my house and feel like I'm on an island by myself. Update number 1, one day after the first post. It's tomorrow after a night where I slept in the guest bedroom. Late last night, I got an email apology from the girl who turned white when she found out. My wife woke up at 6 to get ready for work, and I was up helping kids get ready for school. She wanted to talk and asked if I could talk also. I was half awake and didn't have any thoughts put together. The first thing she says is that I need to keep perspective. She said that it's not as if she cheated on me. She forgot something big, but there are much worse things that could have happened. I didn't respond. She asked how long she was going to be punished for this, and I just responded with saying it wasn't all about her. She is visibly frustrated, and I'm too afraid to say something that will ignite her. I feel like she's desperate for me to say anything. I realize she's not comforting me or trying to understand. She wants full resolution before we have to take kids trick or treating tonight. That's it for now. She texted, "Good morning," and I haven't responded. Best comments. When the planner doesn't plan, shit doesn't get done. This whole fantasy football thing is shitty, but what sort of friends are these guys outside of this situation? Once you've sorted the friend situation, you'll need to sort things with your wife. I have a lot of questions for her, and I imagine you do too. Why didn't she organize something to celebrate your win, for starters? The wife might be something that requires marriage counseling, but only you two can determine that. I don't know. I don't want anything. As of this morning, I'm just wanting to not have this tension with my wife. But I'm kind of stuck on feeling let down, and she's supposed to be the person that doesn't do that. Is your wife always as shitty as she seems here? No. She's great and a wonderful partner. But one major part of her personality is that she hates any feeling of having done something wrong. It's like she becomes a different person. So, bad sex and a weak apology is how she makes up for it? And then getting upset at OP for feeling hurt and making it about herself. Update number 2, 1 year, 9 months, and 19 days after the last update. The first thing I'd say is that Reddit is a pretty amazing place. My inbox was flooded with people offering congratulations and apologies for what happened, and feeling support when you're in a place like that is an awesome thing. To everyone who wrote, thank you. Here's what happened. My relationship had a rough 2 weeks. It took time for her to see that this was more than just a scratch emotionally. I was disconnected from our everyday life, and it's hard to explain to someone like my wife, who is so sensitive to partial blame/accountability that you need them to make a sudden change and handle your issue. That sounds weird to write out, but in my case, it's true. It's like asking someone to perform disaster relief who hates getting their hands the slightest bit dirty. About a month after the day, I had a trip planned with a bunch of them who had been at the tailgate. I could have brought it up then, could have told them how let down I was. And in the moment, I just decided, don't ruin the trip. If you tell them how destroyed you felt, they're going to feel bad and you're on a trip together. If you're reading this and judge me, please know I completely understand. I could have yelled and screamed or explained how it made me feel, but I thought about how I've known all of them for 20 plus years, and this one thing was just a bad mark against a lot of good memories. It's sad, but I didn't want to ruin the trip we were on. Fast forward to the next year. I didn't continue the league. I got a few texts about it. Are we doing the Pick'em League? And I didn't respond. My wife knew why it was gone. I was happy with not doing it and not needing a weekly reminder. We had the 2023 tailgate almost 1 year to the date. Someone had won the 2022 season, and of course, I planned nothing. Yes, it was the same guy who had won the 6 years in a row. About 3 hours into the tailgate, someone made an announcement. They needed everyone to watch the TV because there was a surprise. My friends had arranged a cameo. They got one of my favorite players of all time to congratulate me on winning the league. It was a year late, and it was still great. I watched it, teared up a tiny bit, and my friend leaned over, smiling and sarcastic, said, "Can we please start the league up again?" I thought of Reddit, the emotions, my wife, etc. I had a few congrats, hugs, and it was over. My dad passed away about 6 months after the initial Reddit post. When he was in the hospital and I was visiting every day for a few weeks, I started to think about things that matter. The bullshit at my work faded away. My wife, who isn't perfect but is definitely my person, came way more into focus. My relationships with my friends did too. This isn't meant to be life advice, but I feel like emotional landmines are going to happen. I hit one, it hurt, and I was fortunate enough to be with people who felt compelled to fix whatever happened to me. We never hashed it out, and that's okay. I'm all right. I love a bunch of people that have been in my life for a long time, and I'm lucky enough to be moved on from it. Thank you again to everyone who reached out, sent vibes, and was supportive when I was down.